Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am your entrepreneurship tutor, Professor Henry Buis of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Today, I want to relate a Buku's saying, Eipa atai ehurerera embeo. Translated, verbatim it may read, it may rain afar, but it will bring you coldness. I want to relate this to the Russian-Ukraine war and Africa's small-scale farmers. Yes, there it is. Ukraine-Russia war. And I'm saying, yes, Eipa atai erera embe. It may rain far, but it will bring you cold. This war, Russia-Ukraine war, is going to affect the small-scale farmer in Africa. Eipa atai erera embeo. It may rain afar, but it will bring coldness. I want to relate this to, again, supply chain management. In supply chain management, there is a concept called the Bullwhip Effect, which is a phenomenon that describes how small fluctuations in demand from the retailer can cause progressively large fluctuations in demand at the wholesale, distributor, manufacturer, and raw material levels. Look at it. Looks like a whip. This man is holding a whip, and if he flips it, the ripples start small, but they increasingly get larger. And we are relating this bullwhip to the customer, the retailer, the manufacturer, and the supplier. That a very little whip, a very little fluctuation in demand, that, a small fluctuation in demand, which is just a little effort on the whip, will cause big, impacts along the supply chain. In chaos theory, we have the butterfly effect, which is a phenomenon that describes how a small change can give rise to a big tidal wave. That a simple movement, like one of flapping of a wing of a butterfly, can give wind to a hurricane somewhere else. Yes, the butterfly is here. A small flap on its wings can cause all these ripples. Now, these are theoretical phenomenons or theories, but I find them relevant to the Russian-Ukraine war as they affect the African farmer. Why? Russia is one of the world's most significant suppliers of fertilizer and related raw materials, such as sulfur, urea, NPKs, ammonia, UAN, and ammonium nitrate. Indeed, in 2020, Russia was the world's main exporter of fertilizer. Now, I see the war leading to a fertilizer-related reverse whip. Yes, that is the conventional bullwhip. You see, a small fluctuation in demand by a customer will cause big fluctuations along the supply chain, the manufacturer, the wholesaler, the retailer. That is the conventional bullwhip. Now, let's look at the reverse bullwhip in relation to the war. There it is. There is a big Russian-Ukraine war. This big war is going to reduce supply in fertilizer. Russia and even Ukraine produce fertilizer. But because of the war and sanctions and all that, the supply of fertilizer will start reducing, downstream on the supply chain. First, the large-scale farmer supply will reduce. Then that will affect the medium-scale farmers. And finally, the small-scale farmers. The big scale farmers will get, but not in the same quantities as they used to get before the war. It will reduce, and the small farmers will feel the pinch. Look, already now in Kenya, the prices of fertilizer have gone up. Many various quotas have been blamed. The government has been blamed, whether it's a county government or the central government. But the farmer, the small scale farmer now, who is feeling it, doesn't know that the effect would even be coming from the source. Why? Because indeed, Kenya imports more than 50% of what it requires as fertilizer annually. Now, these figures are scientific. It's research done in Kenya by the Tekemeo Institute of Agricultural Policy and Development at Egerton University. These were published in 2018. They show the structure of the cost of the farmer, both small scale and large scale, in maize production. And Kenya is a maize producing country. Look, there is a pinch, particularly small farmer fertilizer pinch. Let's look at it. Look at these figures. Let's focus just on, planting fertilizer and the top dressing. This is the cost share for small and large scale maize production in percentages. Look, this is large scale farmers. These are the percentages of the cost in various activities: land preparation, planting, seed, and all that. Now, just take this planting fertilizer and the top dressing fertilizer. So fertilizer alone gets more than 20% of the structure of the cost. So apart from land preparation, fertilizer is the top costly activity on the farms, whether large-scale farms or small-scale farms. But look at it again. In figures, that's what it is. But let's concentrate on percentages. Look at them again. The small-scale farmer compared to the large-scale farmer, the small-scale farmer feels the pinch more. If a planting fertilizer is more than 13.5%, the large-scale farmer is 1% lower. So in aggregate, the small-scale farmer feels more of the pinch in matters fertilizer in the structure of the cost of production. So Kenya's small farmer fertilizer feels the pinch, maybe because of the economies of scale. But what we're saying, therefore, that with Kenya importing more than 50% of its fertilizer requirements, looking again at the bullwhip, the large scale farmer will get the fertilizer first, the medium scale and the small scale farmer will get last. And when they get it, it will be very expensive. But then we're saying the small scale farmer need not depend on imported organic fertilizers. She or he can make the superior organic manure right on the farm for self-use and for sale. Agripreneurship is required here. Now, here is a layered illustration of making organic fertilizer on your own farm. Look, there it is. Make a hole or a pit, or even just on top of the ground. Dry leaves, make it the first layer. Kitchen waste, garden debris, livestock manure, kitchen waste again, leaves, sawdust, and leave this for 21 days. You will get your organic fertilizer. Here is another version. Again, large branches or wood pellet, leaves, dry leaves, greens, wet, manure soil, water them very well, dry leaves, greens again, wet, manure soil, with no layer after layer, and you will be, preparing your own fertilizer. You can actually do it even in a big bottle. Look at this illustration. A clear plastic bottle. Soil, okay, then vegetables and fruit scraps, kitchen waste if you want, then leaves and grass, all that, even in newspapers that we read, and even paper, go to primary schools and get the paper from the exercise books, vegetables and all that, and you'll be making your fertilizer. Let's listen to somebody who has made it.
This is the 5-minute compost bin. Step 1. Find that nasty old Rubbermaid storage bin in the basement that you haven't touched in 10 years. Step 2.
Yes.
Drill a bunch of small holes in the bottom.
If this foreigner, call him foreigner if you want, this American, European, whatever he is, he can do it at home.
Step 3.
Why not us here? What they can do, we can do. And I would add, what they can do, we can do better.
Step 4. Put a bunch of crumbled dry leaves in the bottom.
Yes, those dry leaves, some of us gather them in the compound and burn them. What are we doing? Oh God. Those are our organic fertilizer. Look, the leaves, just in a small container. After all, you have just 1 acre, half an acre, 2 acres. Forget about buying the inorganic fertilizer that goes on even to actually negatively affect the structure of your soil. He has made the leaves. Now he's putting on soil, topsoil, because it has humus, black soil, covering the leaves in this bucket, just covering the leaves with the soil.
Step 6. Throw in some food garbage.
Then he brings in kitchen waste. That which you throw away again.
Step 7. Stir it all up.
Then mixing that kitchen waste with that soil. I found this at this source, at this YouTube source.
Step 8. Add a little water just to moisten.
Just moist them. A little water, just moist them. After all, we have the holes that we made. Excess water can go away. Then cover it.
And step 10, set it somewhere where it'll get lots of sun.
Yes. Put it where, it's covered. Put it where the sun.
It.
And that's it.
About once a week, I'll dump whatever
you can keep adding on some more vegetables, whatever, and it will be fermenting. Let's go on and now watch this again.
This is the 5-minute compost bin. Step 1. Find that nasty old Rubbermaid storage bin in the basement that you haven't touched in 10 years. Step 2. Drill a bunch of small holes in the bottom. Step 7. Stir it all up a little bit. Step 9. Cover it. Just a little bit. If it seems like it's dried out, of compost for one of my raised...
We can also get this from this source. This is now coming back home. These women in Nakuru are making their fertilizer. Remember the layers we looked at? The leaves, the watering.
Beyond the additives used to ash and eggshells,
just watch.
Both add nutrients to the fertilizer.
Green leaves, ash, dry leaves, all put in layers. You can rewind this video and see the layers, that the illustration that I already gave.
But they are not the only ones. Another group, St. Joseph's Self-Help Group, collects home and market waste, which they also use to make the same organic fertilizer. Both groups sell the final product to an investment group that
Yes,
helps with nutritional
these ones
testing
are
and
even
packaging.
making it, packaging it, and selling it. Indeed.
Before, even when we came here, the environment of this area was so much dirty. But now the environment has looked at it to be clean. And even ourselves now, we are finding that the health itself is coming not answered now.
A lot of waste also that is collected, like whatever we get from the market waste, is in huge numbers. So we get a lot of compost. The women have registered as shareholders with the Nakuru Waste Collectors Group, Nawacom, where after they sell the fertilizer, Nawacom works with Kari and Egerton
Come to Bungoma and go to Chwele Market and see how much of waste that goes to waste. Yet waste can be wealth. I always say the word poor. Poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. P-O-O-R. We have a lot of opportunities in our counties. And here we are now, crying over expensive fertilizer. Yet we can make our own. Let's watch someone from Tanzania.
Hapa sasa tunaanza kukatakata majani yetu kwa ajili ya kutengeneza mboji. Na hii tunakata ili kurahisisha kazi wakati wa kugeuza mbolea yetu.
Here, a variety of green leaves are cut together. You know, he's explaining what they are, all mixed together. Different green leaves. So that we reduce the many layers.
Yani kama udongo wako umekufa kwenye shamba, unapopanda hii udongo unarudi mara moja. Na hii hapa ni jamii ya majani inaitwa Desimodia. Hii yote imeingia kwenye mchanganyiko wetu wa mboji.
You can actually plant some of these crops along your fences and then be using them. When you mow your compound, keep that grass. Women, men, children, yes, anybody can do this. Start by watering the ground, wetting it. This is what he's doing. Next, he's going to ash, spreading ash on the ground or even in the pit if you want, but ground here. After spreading the ash, he comes to the dry grass, dry matter that was cut in pieces so that the rotting, the decomposing is faster. So, first layer was ash on a wet ground, then dry matter. In this case, it was grass. Yes.
Na kawaida kwamba nyasi kavu kutoka ule ujazo wake uwe karibuni sentimita 30. Tunaweka hizi nyasi kavu ili hewa ipate kupenya vizuri, maana kuna wale wadudu ambao wanaweza kumengenya ili wapate ile hewa.
Hatua inafuatia.
So after the grass, then put on the green leaves. In this case, it was a mixture of green leaves. In some cases, you put one layer, different layer of green leaves, but here it is, a cocktail of all those leaves. They are now being put on top of the dry grass, so that the dry grass is all covered.
Hapa ndio nishaweka majani yangu ya kijani. Sasa inakuja hatua nyingine. Hatua inayofuatilia hapa tunachukua mbolea.
Now, manure. Some little manure, either cow dung, cow manure, chicken manure, any manure that you have. Of course, if you don't have it, don't worry, you can put on soil. So, the first step was on the ground. These people are doing it on top of the ground, but it can also be in a pit. So the first step was wetting the ground. Second step was spreading ash on that wet ground. The third one was putting dry matter, maybe grass or whatever, and then putting on green leaves. And after putting on green leaves, spreading it, then come with manure, spread it, and then come with topsoil. This is what she's now doing. Topsoil. So those are layers. Remember the illustration at the beginning of the video. Layer after layer after layer. Then wet it again. Now another layer, repeating the process. You can do one layer, you can do 2 layers, you can do 3 layers. Repeating the process. The layers again, manure again, soil again. And now, he's putting in this stick. It's the thermometer that we'll be using.
Tunakuja kukagua kwamba mbolea yetu kama inaiva kwa muda wa siku 5. Na hii mbolea tutakuwa tunapindua kila baada ya siku 7. Na tutapindua mara 3. Na itakapofika kwa muda wa siku 21, tayari mbolea itakuwa imewiva na tayari kwa matumizi.
In 21 days, your organic fertilizer will be ready. Imagine your hen starts lying or sitting on the eggs, and you start making this mbolea, this fertilizer. By the time your hen is hatching, your fertilizer is also ready. 21 days.
Na baada ya siku 5 tena unakuja kuangalia, na baada ya siku 7 unapindua.
Every 7 days you turn it, the top comes, the bottom comes up. Turn them 3 times, 7 days. The 21st day, 21st day, you are ready to use it.
Sasa tunafunika majani. Lengo ni kwamba inaweza ikapiga mvua isiongeze maji tena kwa wingi, kwa sababu tumeweka maji ya kutosha.
Yes. So you cover it so that no excess water gets into the fertilizer as it decomposes.
Tunaweka mawe ili upepo usiweze kuhamisha kwa urahisi haya majani. Kwa zoezi letu la utengenezaji wa mboji kwa sasa tumemaliza.
Yes. If you liked it, subscribe. Like it. Give it thumbs up. Share it. Let others also benefit from what you are benefiting. And please leave a comment. Now, have an organic day. Won't you?